Does God care about everything I do? Well, I think it depends upon who you are. Let me explain. Again, the short answer to this question is it's complicated, but let's try to approach it or open up the discussion. According to the Rambam, there are two kinds of hashgachot. There are two kinds of divine providence, divine protection, and divine oversight. One is hashgacha klalit, a generalized kind of divine providence, which, according to the Rambam, all non-human species are subject to, like the laws of nature. A leaf falling off a tree is subject to a generalized kind of protection or oversight from God. There's general laws of nature. God doesn't care about every single leaf that falls off a tree, but he's part of that scenario in a generalized kind of way. Just the laws of nature. Hashgacha klalit, a generalized kind of providence. Then there's hashgacha pratit, an individualized, customized kind of providence that, according to the Rambam, is proportionate to how much the human being uses their intellect. Human beings are subject to hashgacha pratit, a customized kind of providence, because human beings are uniquely intelligent, as opposed to other animals, non-human species, and other facets of nature. Human beings have intellectual capability. And so automatically what happens is that when human beings use their intellect, and they think well, and they think rationally and logically, and they make deductions, scientific, mathematic, or otherwise, they are essentially tapping into truths. They come to epiphanies and discoveries, and they come to essential truths that animals and leaves on trees wouldn't be able to come to because they don't have the ability to think. And those truths, those thoughts, those ideas reside within God. And so when human beings are using their intellect and they draw deductions, they draw conclusions, they come to those truths, they are tapping into God, the Godhead. They are tapping into God's brain. And so there's that connection between human beings and God. They are inviting God into their lives, into their heads, and by virtue of that, into their lives. And so according to the Rambam, hashgacha pratit, divine providence, individualized, customized divine providence, is commensurate with and proportionate to how well you think. The more the better you think, the more you're tapping into God's head, the more you're inviting God into your life. So for the Rambam, the smartest and the most intellectually motivated people, I mean, you could be very smart, but not do the inviting, not be motivated to actually use your head. The people that use their head the best are the ones that are inviting the most hashgacha pratit into their lives. That's according to the Rambam. Now, Rav Soloveitchik has an interesting version of that. For Rav Soloveitchik, it's not about intelligence, but it's about destiny and the creation of a unique personality. For Rav Soloveitchik, he makes a distinction, even within the human species, between people who do nothing to make themselves unique, people who don't seek out or aspire answers to tough questions, people who are mediocre, people who sit like a log and do nothing. They're just subject, according to the Rav, to a kind of hashgacha klalit that any other species is subject to. They're not unique. They're not interesting. They're not using their heads. They're not using their emotions. They're not using this unique kind of human motivation. They're not using their full potential as humans in order to invite hashgacha pratit into their lives, right? They're just a very plain, banal, generic kind of human. But another kind of human, the human that does seek and aspire to gain answers and to achieve a very unique destiny, that wants to get to know and understand God's ways, and wants to know something about nature, and wants to know something about themselves, and wants to know how the world works, and tries to make their personality unique and carve out a unique destiny, invites hashgacha pratit into their lives. Because at the end of the day, this is a religious imperative for the Rav. You are supposed to do this. Human beings are supposed to fulfill a destiny. We all have a tafkid. And we're supposed to make ourselves unique so that God is compelled automatically to treat us uniquely. And that unique treatment of us is hashgacha pratit, individualized, customized hashgacha. And again, that's not Hashem playing favorites. He's not saying, I like you because you're a go-getter. It just happens. If you're a go-getter, Hashem is there to help you get it, right? You've invited a unique destiny upon yourself. And that unique destiny is hashgacha pratit, warrants hashgacha pratit. What's amazing about that approach, what's really kind of amazing and innovative, is the notion that we have some control. Human beings have some control over how much God cares, how much hashgacha pratit they have. The hashgacha pratit that we get is a matter of how much we invite upon ourselves. And so we ask the question, does God care about everything I do? The answer is, depends upon who you are. Like I said in the beginning, are you a person who's inviting that care? Are you a person who doesn't care about that care, or kind of sits back and expects that treatment, that unique treatment, without you making yourself unique? If that makes sense. I hope it does. And so that's kind of a short answer to the question of, does God care about everything I do? And I assume for most of us, the answer is absolutely.